March 1st, supported by the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens and the Health Services Authority of the Cayman Islands, knowing changes everything.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thanks for sharing with us. And always a pleasure to be able to listen. If I can't get it completely, and I can go back to the YouTube and watch it, which I invite you to do. Mr. Art's show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and today is no exception. To listen to the callers, be a part of the discussion. So, as we want you to listen to our talk today, we want you to always be informed and engaged with Mr. Art's show. And today was one of those again. Takes you through the weekend. All right, with that in mind, open line, 1 p.m., Shane Nobi Edwards. He might even ride his bicycle and come right in with us at 1 o'clock. If he gets there early, great. If he's not here at that time, hey, understand, things have to be as they are. So, we want to hear from you. The house, I think Mr. Akal will be prorogued today. Is that what he says? He's shaking his head? He said, I'm not sure. Anyway, we can talk about all the things that you want to talk about. It is a Friday, and we want you to make it not only fantastic, fun-filled. We want to make it so that as you spend time with your family over food and some of the fellowship, that you will an appreciation, an increasing appreciation for where we are. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard. And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome. Thank you very much. It is open line. Our phone lines are lighting up, and we want to hear from you as you share your thoughts with us. 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp call 925-3261 and share with us, because it's important that you appreciate that your contribution, your voice, is not only valued but necessary. Let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am most thankful. How about yourself?
Thankful. Not 100%, but thankful.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I hope it gets to 100% very soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. But God's mercy, it will. Yeah.
Oh, man. Without a question. Without a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what you talking about today? Anybody in the station with you, or you by yourself?
Right now, I'm by myself, but I have invited the prayer, so hopefully the Holy Spirit isn't too far away.
All right, that's good. I'm quite sure it's not far away.
Well, thank you.
Right around the corner, believe me. It's probably even looking at you and you can't see because you're looking too hard.
Well, you just got to sometimes be still and listen to that.
Yes,
small
be
voice.
still.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
Be still. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a lot of politics talking going around right now, but I'm going to try my very best not to get involved in it because You know, politics is a very ticklish, and I say detrimental thing to talk about to a degree, especially when you know everybody practically, and you know, it's just ticklish. You know, just ticklish, and I wish him all the best. And I'm just asking Alan not to look for too much of a great change because Sterling, the way that this island is being run right now, I don't know what any government can come out here and promise us that we probably didn't hear before. And I just want to point out a couple of things. For example, our beaches, our beach entrance, for one. Can they give that back to us? I don't think so. Probably try to open another beach elsewhere until someone goes and develop alongside of it, and it becomes a problem. And then talking about you know, our Caymanians with jobs, especially the young ones, that is trying to gain a home and a job on this island that is becoming a real so discouraging and defeated for our young generation.
Yeah.
And I'm talking people going up to probably like 40 years of age.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure there's some in that age bracket that are still fighting, still say they want to own something here in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, and as I listen to you, I mean, I appreciate the realism in your tone. I also appreciate sometimes how we can feel defeated, a bit deflated. Sometimes we are not just dejected, but we feel discarded. And then as I listen to you, there's a mindfulness that another D comes into place, divided as well as despondent. So with that, not an attempt at you know, having an alliteration as it is, it's a consciousness that what is happening, right? I'm so motivated because I had such a fantastic companion earlier who shares from her wisdom, right? Her life experience, but who does it with such love as you are now. And let me ask, if we look at our lives, those of us who are more than 50, 60, 70, and those of us who are under 18 or under 25, if those two groups of people are looking at the Cayman Islands and saying, I don't have any hope, there's no future for me, then why are we not trying to figure out what to do about it?
I don't know why there's such a blind eye. I mean, you can see, because sometimes I have to wonder, any government, past, present, and future, where do they drive and how do they see what's happening here in this island? Because everybody says can see it. Or they just got a blind eye to it and say that next election we'll fix it.
Right, but he who feels it knows it, right?
The only those that feels it knows it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me then ask. Sorry.
Huh?
No, so I was going to interject. Let me ask, right? From what you just shared, when you say, I don't know, you know, what the government's going to do about it, what's going to happen, and as I listen to you, now I'm maybe the hopeless romantic, maybe I'm the eternal optimist, right? But I'm not alone in that. We have to have hope. We have to be positive. We've got to recognize the realities before us. But to what extent are we no longer willing for politicians, however that's defined, to make idle, empty promises, and at great risk of being, you know, how would you say? Yes, ma'am.
Hope. I am quite sure there's a lot of us here, including myself, with hope. But we are so easy to get defeated when you see something else taking place, and it was not meant for a Caymanian to gain or prosper or to enjoy.
Why is that?
From it.
Why do you say that?
Why I say that?
Yes,
because Sterling, I'm 68 years old, and as I watch Cayman as I get older, it is becoming less and less for the few Caymanians that we have left. We say that Caymanians are lazy. We say Caymanian doesn't want to work. I really, truly do not believe that.
Okay.
What is happening to our generation of people there this did not, well, even the seniors that still here with us, including myself, did not expect Cayman to grow the way it has grown.
Mm-hmm.
And every politician, every government forgot about us. And we, the people that put them in, and who did they went and work for, was the opposite, to say that we got to work with these because then we need the money to run the country.
Okay.
I understand that to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
but then again, you can't forget your people.
Right. But let me add to what you're sharing, right? And maybe slightly, well, just let me say it and people can decide. To your point, I look at my father, for instance, and he and men and people of that generation would make provision. So they build in a house, right? And it may be a one-bedroom house, whatever the size of the house, but they would always make provision that as the family grew, they would be able to add on to their house, right? They would do things. I fast forward to just the other day, not that long ago, we're building a house, and you're not sure exactly what, but before solar and similar technology was being used, my dad always say, well, we don't run a little extra pipe just in case. Did it for the telephone, so that the more lines could come in. He did it for the TV, did it for the solar. You have that little piece of pipe that allowed you to be able, as the conduit, to literally run wires in if you needed, make it easier. It cost you a couple of cents to put it in properly. If you needed it, you would have it there. If you didn't need it, it's out of the way, but you made provision. You remember that phrase, right? Make provision.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We did that. So I say that as an example to emphasize that maybe the people we've elected, maybe the people that have paid for their election, maybe the people that we've alleged control and manage and manipulate and are their puppet masters, the kingmakers, whatever the the allegation is, maybe it's simply because not that they didn't see where Cayman would be. Maybe they just didn't have the vision. That may be possible, right? But maybe it's because we didn't have the tenacity, the wherewithal, the things that my father and the men of that day had to sit and make provision. Nobody probably knew that it would be like this and that way. And yes, it may have been unbridled development. It may have been this at a cost of that. But when are we going to step back and ask ourselves, how is this thing going to continue that not only will benefit those who are here now, whether they've been here for generations or they've only been here for a few minutes after they're stepping off the plane. What about the future? Mm-hmm.
The future? Well, they say you can't. Some people say you can't see the future. You just gotta hope for a good future or pray for a good future. I don't know really what to say about the future because the way that we are so dim right now. Sterling, people have been voting for years, and they put all of the trust and they believe into the politicians that they got to come out here and they got to make sure that we are taken care of. And I ain't talking about no hand-me-down.
I hear you.
I ain't talking about no hand-me-down.
You want to help up?
Bring us up. Don't take us down no more than where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then this cheap labor that everybody just keep bringing, and the government, immigration. I wish I didn't know how to spell that word. That's one word I wish I never learned to spell, but I can spell it.
Yeah. Well,
we need, I don't know what they can do with immigration, but something needs to be done, and it needs to be done fast, and we need to show our young people. Yeah. Darling, we got hundreds and hundreds of children coming out of school on a yearly basis. I don't even know where they are.
But this is it.
About working nowhere.
This is it. Now, I know we got a news break. I don't want you to feel, but we got another call. Not a news break. We got a commercial break in a second. So as we go to that break, let me leave you with a couple of things. A great big thank you publicly for your willingness, even when you may not feel 100%, as you said, to call, and through your words, it may encourage some people. It may get them to at least think and say, well, I don't agree. But here's the other thing I want to leave with. The word humility. Is there humility in our leadership, our elected political leadership? I'm not talking about falseness. I'm not talking about trying to pretend like you got self-control when you don't. All right? Humility in our ecclesiastical leadership, our business leadership, humility in our homes, humility in us as individuals. Right? with humility before honor. And it's not that you don't have this sense of great passion and desire to serve your country. Some of us can speak with such charisma and charm because we possess such great integrity and character, and some of us, we're flat, we're monotone. That's not what I'm talking about. By their fruits, as Miss Vito reminds us, ye shall know them. We're not looking as the voter at what is before us. I've been blinded by some because I want to see the best in them. But there are times when you got to look and go, boy, you left wanting. And that's where the voter has to be in now, and not allow the politician on the eve of election to have all the answers to address a problem that they had 4 or more years. Right? But we need to be engaged and involved and informed and willing to step with the will, the courage, the tenacity, the resolve to do what we know needs to be done, but do it to build bridges, not divide. Not true?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have to go, but I want to say one more thing.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
On the spot straight, they're going to put those dividers up there. I call them spikes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to want there by the galores.
Uh-huh.
I do not know what sense they are making. I know it's not controlling speed because the cars are still flying, and our roads got more of those on them, and they got road marks to tell you what exit to go into and use your indicator.
Uh-huh.
Darling, I want somebody to call your station and tell this island, where did they travel in the world that got as much foolishness on our roads here in Cayman?
Mm-hmm.
Like what we got here in Cayman to try to stop this and stop that, and it's not working. The police department need to make they need to get another plan for our roads because what they are doing is not working. You can't even see a police officer on the road at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you see one, it's a miracle. And everybody is driving behind that police car as if they're going to a funeral. And next morning, there is no police car, and only thing left for the cars to do is to let the wings come out and stuff start flying.
Wow.
And I see my death almost every morning going to work.
Jeez.
I have to drive with God in my mouth.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and sadly, I heard that so many times from so many recently. I'm going to make a special appeal as Dorsey always does. So, but thank you for sharing that, all right? And I pray that you, as the rest of us on the roads, be safe and sensible. But thanks very much, Mom.
You take care.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's pause and take a break. Join us right after. Stay tuned.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
The Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport and Development is pleased to provide the APATH Grant Program to help you thrive. Whether you're interested in pursuing higher education or a career in planning, infrastructure, agriculture, housing, or transport, APATH is designed just for you. Ready to take the leap? Apply today. For more information, please contact APATH Secretariat at 936-6231 or mpahi@gov.ky. APATH, your path to success in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And we're expecting the excellent company with the conversation, and hopefully through that, maybe just a little bit of commentary with respect to what's going to happen when Nobi joins us at 1 o'clock or thereabouts. But to the last caller, you're always going to hear her heart, that genuine desire for our country to be the very best place, the safest place where there's social harmony and stability, there's civility amongst our citizenry, but also a growing plea, as Mr. Ort has done consistently, while we are on our roads moving about, as he said, traversing the streets, let's be safe and sensible. To her point, those traffic delineators that are on the road are meant to sort of to control the overtaking that takes place specifically along the sports straight. Fantastic marvel of engineering when constructed. Those who have been reminded of the story, recognizing the equipment that was used relative to the modern technology. A straighter piece of road with better construction and engineering probably was never had, but it has been a place where many take to going a little faster than perhaps is prescribed, but also sensible. Now it can, as some callers have shared, make it difficult to turn onto certain roads if you're coming from the eastern districts. To her question though, it may not be something that is slowing down the rate of speed, and as much as those little sticks, as she may have said, are upright in that lane preventing overtaking, it does nothing to address speed. But that comes to us as the drivers. We are going in one direction, and that one lane, cars are coming in the opposite direction, the two lanes. God forbid if there's a head-on. We need to drive slower, safer, more sensible. And perhaps that's where that issue should be discussed, and maybe it's on us to fix it. But let's take this call. Hey, thank you for sharing. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
And to you, Mr. Raymond. Sir, how are you?
Yes, sir. Doing okay. Just want to give an update on the cruise ship. Arrived this morning, but was only around for about 45 minutes. The weather was unsuitable for the tender to come into Scott's Dock, so they are now under full speed headed to Georgetown. She should be there 1 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you for telling us that. I want to ask you if you are able and willing to share from your perspective. Firstly, it's in relation to the weather, and because the ship, as you just said, wasn't able to dock, to tender, to whichever, right? Did you actually see the ship, notice the weather conditions, the seas and the like? Did you see it personally?
If I seen it, I was watching it from daylight this morning. I was up from 5 o'clock, and I communicated with the ship at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Give them a hearty welcome to Cayman Brack, and I watched everything, mostly transpiring.
Thank you. And only your opinion, right? What, in your view, were the seas like? Were they choppy? Was it flat calm? Was it okay? I mean, rough? What's your take on it? How the seas look? Your perception of the weather conditions?
the seas along the coastline was running 1 to occasionally 1 to 3 feet along the iron shore. Small ground swell seas, and
Okay.
they were rising up right alongside Scott's Dock, where the tender. They launched the tender, and the tender came in fairly close and did an observation on the west side of Scott's Dock, and they considered it that it was not favorable for the tender to come alongside the dock.
Right. And again, I don't want to put you in a precarious. Well, I want you just to share, if you wish. We all know that it is for the captain to make the call as to whether it's safe or otherwise for his passengers to get on and off, right? From your perspective, was that a good decision for the captain? Were the seas too rough? Those are the ground swells that would make it unsafe or perhaps ill-advised for him to disembark his passengers? What do you think?
The possibility was, yes, the boat would making an attempt to come alongside. The boat may get scratched up against the dock, and the people would have to get ready and make sort of a lurch or a step and be very careful when the boat rises up. But they have a nice ladder alongside Scott's Dock, and an specific area that has been designed for the boats to pull up against stuff and just step off. But the captain from the bridge of the ship, and then he's advised by the person in charge of the group of the passengers. They would also have traveled on the boat and did an observation of the conditions.
Right. And I mean,
when Scott's Dock was being built, I was a pusher behind it with Dervin Scott and Paul. Let's get this dock far out into deep water, just out by the edge of the ocean, and then turn it to the northwest, which would have provided a lead this morning where it would have been smooth on the west side of Scott's Dock, where that cruise ship tenders could came in alongside. But they got the Marine Department, actually, Cayman Islands Marine Department, and the people in charge here made such an upheaval about things, and they actually did Scott development so bad with the project that Dervin Scott and them just decided, to hell with it, we're not going to bother with it no more. And that's as a result of we not having a proper facility with a dock way out into the sea, and it would have benefited for other vessels coming alongside as well. So the tugboat with the barge now loading crushed rock. In a day like this, a few days ago, it was choppy out there, but they came in with bigger craft and loaded out and loaded their cargo and went.
Yeah.
But if the dock was on the northwesterly direction and the wind coming straight out of the northeast or east-northeast, if that had a protruding section of the dock headed northwest, on the inner side there would have been nice and smooth, and the cruise ship tenders could have came in there, and also benefiting for people coming from Grand Cayman, especially during the fishing tournament. Right now we have the Carib Sands dock that used to accommodate all the boaters from Grand Cayman for an annual fishing tournament. Now that is out of commission. The building that was out into the sea is demolished, and the foundation of the dock has settled down about 2 to 3 feet from the level, settled into the sea, and now that's inoperable, and that dock is not deemed to be usable anymore. So where the boat's going to dock now when they come from Grand Cayman during the fishing tournament, that's why when the project was Mr. Cleveland Dilbert, he couldn't get approval to do an inlet into the south side. All of that where these boats. We definitely need a small protected harbor for Cayman Brac. Because many people of my friends say, look, Raymond, during the Easter we would come over to the Brac, spend time, but there's nowhere for us to keep our boats. So since the Carib Sands dock now is mostly about the first 200 feet has sunken down. The pilings have collapsed underneath, and the foundation of the dock is settled. So they don't have that to dock up to this coming fishing tournament time. So I don't know what the plans are to get that dock built back to facilitate our great friends from Grand Cayman coming to spend money in Cayman Brac during the fishing tournament, the Brac jackpot that will be coming up this year. So whatever plans, I don't know what's the plans for that.
Mm-hmm.
But up on the big cruise ship now, when you're up there on the bridge, 150 feet high, it's a total different visibility of looking at the sea compared to what you actually are on the coastline as well. So the captain was Italian, and the first person I spoke to this morning was a woman, an Italian woman. She was actually the second in command. She was giving me all the information. The ship had 470 passengers on board, 639 crew, but she only had about a quarter capacity of what she can carry, had a minimal amount of passengers on board. They weren't sure how many was coming ashore, but the taxis were ready. Even a school bus was ready to take the passengers to various places and on tours, but all of that didn't happen. So the next one is scheduled for March the 12th, just a little over a month time, and it's the sister to this one that will be coming here March the 12th, and it's about 5 more scheduled up until about late 2026. Smaller ones. This one was the biggest one ever came by, Cayman Brac, and her sister is around the identical size coming on March the 12th.
So with that, I mean, and as I'm listening to, I'm quickly looking at a message from one individual, which made me mindful of 2 others who shared similarly from the Brac, and questioning, to what extent cruise tourism would be viable, given, as you sort of alluded to, relative to the docking capacity and the facility. So how do we make sure that not only we can ensure that the Cayman Brac economy and its people can benefit from continued growth and prosperity? Is it that the dock needs to be relocated or just expanded?
The dock here on the North Coast, Scott's Dock, was a extension on to Scott's Dock. Most of the weather is the winds are coming from the east-northeast, north-northeast, sometimes from the north. If we had a protruding leg of Scott's Dock going to the northwest, then that would provide a lee under most weather conditions. But when it comes from the northwest now, like Grand Cayman, can't do anything down there. The cargo ships and everything has to go on the south side. So Scott Development has the boulders available at the quarry that they could extend the dock into deeper water with a northwesterly leg, and then that we could facilitate. The big ships can keep up. No problem to that big ship this morning. That little weather wasn't no problem to the ship, and then she could provide a lee by turning her bow or stern into the land, offloading them, and once they get on the tender, if we had the dock that was creating the lee on the west side, that would have been, that's the solution to it, to extend Scott's Dock to the northwest, providing a lee on the inner side, which would be the west side, and then it would only have to be like a northwester, then like how it is in Grand Cayman, that the ships cannot come there and has to go to spots. Most of our weather is coming from the northeast, east-northeast, or north. And Grand Cayman can operate under all of those conditions. They're not affected by that. Grand Cayman is affected when the wind is from the north, northwest, or the northwest. Most of the time it's inoperable there, and they have to go out to spots. With the prevailing winds here, it's choppy by the dock, and like it's about probably out of 365 days a year, we probably have, I would say, around 280 days of the year that we has good weather. It's compared to the bad weather from October, November on till about March, with the seasonal cold fronts coming in and being rough, and we can't even get our food stuffed properly in the break. Sometimes it's 2 weeks at the tug and barge. Can't get to the island like what's been happening here recently. And you go to the stores and the fruits and vegetables is about out, and fresh milk, and we're disadvantaged here severely, potentially, when it comes to transportation because of the bad weather. And we're not having a sizable craft to come across or a dock.
And I'm glad that, Paul Gibbs, I'm glad that you reference that often, because for me, it's not just about what seemingly to be, very high prices. It's the fact that stuff are not available. I mean, this is us. You're us, we're you. And I would like us to be able to, whether we're in East End or West End, whether in the Brac or Grand Cayman, to be able to have access, because we're all Caymanians, right, to the food, to the education, to the health care. And maybe that's something that, as we look as a country, how we can prioritize all of our citizens have that level of access that we deserve, and I may have a view, you may have a view, but if we can put it together, we might get a really good example. So hopefully we're listening as a country, not just as, politicians or people who are been appointed or people who are been self-anointed. So hopefully, as you share with us, maybe we'll appreciate how important it is to listen with the intent to try to understand. We got to take the news before we do it. Quickly, Mr. Raymond, all is well?
Yes, sir. I just need to tell you some additional things. Now, the solution to getting good weather for us to get
Mr. Raymond, I do apologize. Would you, just so we can get the timing, hang on? We can get you after the news for those solutions, right? Please allow us to do that. Join us after.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The Business Buzz, each and every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Brought to you by
Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. As a part of Cayman Arts Festival 2025, you're invited to the Saccone Quartet on Saturday, followed up on Sunday with a concert featuring the Cayman Youth Choir and the New York Cabaret Singer Concert. Both shows start at 7 p.m. at the Hartwell Theatre. Tickets are available on Eventbrite. In regional news, in Dominica, former Prime Minister Edison James claims that Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and National Security Minister Rayburn Blackmore are behind the charges of inciting violence and obstructing justice against him and other opposition leaders. These charges stem from a 2017 incident, while the opposition insists their actions were part of a democratic push for electoral reform. James and his co-accused argued that the case is politically motivated, with local and CARICOM leaders urged to support electoral reform efforts. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Skerrit emphasizes the need for collaboration and compromise in addressing electoral reforms. In other regional news, in St. Vincent, a 63-year-old retired teacher will appear in court on the 12th of February, facing 4 counts of indecent assault on a child under 15. Allegedly committed between September 2024 and January 2025, the retired teacher pleaded not guilty and was granted a $3,000 bail. Due to the case's sensitive nature and to protect the minor's identity, further details remain undisclosed. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison. That's your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Captain Scott was a quiet-natured child who liked going on the bluff with his grandfather Oscar Brown, swimming every Saturday evening and playing cricket down where Miss Alame's house sits now. He was very studious at Creek Elementary School and did very well under the tutelage of his favorite teacher, Miss Isley Connolly MBE. Following the tragic death of his father at sea, at age 14 he left school to work with Arnold Foster to support his family. In 1953 he joined his first ship, the Beretta, a local cargo vessel, signing on as deck boy, working his way up to boatswain. From 1953 until 2006, some 52 years, Captain Scott made his living working off the seas.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land,
Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thanks again to Mr. Raymond with the great public respect. Thanks for letting us be able to get those items in before our news. Let's go to the phones. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dwayne. Yes, here waiting for you.
Thank you, sir. Again, thank you so much. I'm hoping it was you. I wasn't sure, but thank you for letting us just, interject that. Thanks for letting us apologize to you as well. But you were sharing some other things that you wanted in relation to the solution.
Yes, sir. Today with my discussion, I want this to be something that will make a significant change in the disadvantages we are having in getting our food stuff, groceries, and everything to the island while the bad weather season is on with the cold fronts. Okay, I would like for you to get me a recording of what I am going to say on here. Make certain that you get that, okay?
You want me to get the recording and give it to you?
Hold it or just send it to I'll give you call you up and give you my email address where you can send it to.
Okay, we can try that, and if you want, as others can as well, because it's on YouTube, all right? You can go back to it. So the digital clock on the wall is give us the timestamp at 1:07 in 4 minutes, right? So right after the news, you can have someone to go, and it will be there. Now we can try to edit it and send it to you, but I don't want to commit resources because it's not. So the YouTube would have it available to you, and you can go and listen to it, and you will have that recording as with others as well. All right?
Yes, sir. Okay. This is a suggestion about what to do to eliminate our disadvantages with the tug and barge coming to Cayman Brac. And it can't come during the cold front season with the least little choppy weather. It can't come to the creek dock. Okay, Scott Development Dock here. Extend the dock further out, and the depth water that's alongside the dock now is roughly 18 feet, because I had that measured when we brought in a big freighter, a big roll-on, roll-off ship to bring cement for the creek dock when the creek dock was disabled. So go out further with Scott's dock and make an L-shaped breakwater going either northwest, L-shape going west. Go straight out further and go straight west. And on the inner side of that, once the tug can get across from Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac, they can, and when the weather is choppy, and they can't come to the dock, but they can make the journey across from Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac. So once this dock has an L-shaped portion going westward several hundred feet, the tug can arrive on the inner side of that dock and dock up with the barge. But the creek facility now is the designated port of arrival. So things would have to change with that. And of course up there we got the crane and everything for lifting off. But that dock is just a shelf on top of the water, in the water, with pilings. And it's going to cost too much to do anything like that up at the creek. But Scott Development has their quarry, which is only about a half a mile from this dock location. Giant loaders to transport the 10,000 pound or about 15,000 pound giant boulders, and keep extending the dock straight out further nearer to the edge of the ocean, and do an L shape back west a few hundred feet. So once the tug get in that, behind that L shape, the northeast seas, the rough wave action will be cut, and up inside there will be nice and smooth, and they can go ahead and do what they want to do. That was like once the cruise ship tender this morning got in behind that breakwater, that outward breakwater, it would have been smooth up in there because you're not getting no sea coming. If you put a dock out with pilings into the sea, those docks can be damaged by hurricanes, turbulence and pressure pushing up can rake and destroy the dock. But once it's built with these monster boulders, they would be there forevermore. Once you build it wide enough, the hurricanes will come and hit that and break the giant seas and splash over it, bam, and come right to the shore. So there's no dock in the world any stronger than a boulder dock using giant boulders placed together. And also the Dominican Republic exports massive boulders to various places. I know they built the breakwater in Suriname, the French island, Suriname in the Caribbean, buying giant boulders from the Dominican Republic. So that is the solution. And before, this area was classed as a marine park. And it was also Scott's Anchorage, which is from over a century ago, mapped as Scott's Anchorage for Navy ships and everything to come. And I said, oh my, look what they got it now into a marine park. And now I'm so happy that they have changed that. Scott's Dock area is not a marine park on the west anymore. It's controlled by the Port Authority of the Cayman Islands. So all of the problems that Scott's was having with the Marine Department, preventing them from doing any more to the dock, since it has become now under the Port Authority or whatever other department. These things can happen, and we need to have that happen. Don't talk about seeing what we can do to get it done. Let's get it done and get out of this disadvantage about when cold front's on. We got to wait, and people telling you when you go to the store, you don't have anything in the store. Oh, we're waiting for the barge, for the next barge. We got to get out of that. The island is slowly developing, and that's the way we've been operating now for donkey years, for decades and decades. We need to get a solution to this problem, and that is it by putting an L-shaped breakwater on Scott's Dock. Tug and barge could come behind there, offload their stuff in nice, calm water like a pond. But there again, the crane, there's no crane. So all of that would have to be changed. Getting permission to operate a second port in West End. And the creek is an official international port of arrival. So 20, 30, 40 years ago, when the north side was rough, the freighters owned by Mr. Moses Kirkconnell's father and all the Kirkconnells, Captain Mabry and Miss Captain Louis Foston, my brother Captain Radley, used to be captain of freighters, come off the channel by the Brack Reef. And we had two big aluminum barges about 40 feet long that the ship's crane would put the cargo inside the barge and bring it by the channel dock by the Brack Reef. And we were at disadvantage for our necessities then because we had a dock on the south side when the north side is rough. We had an alternate port, but now we don't have that. So we have gone backward with transportation in Cayman Brack, and it's time for that to end. So that's why I'm an advocate for improvement to our shipping facilities and getting goods into the island.
And as I listen to you, comment off air is asking if you're familiar with what they call tetrapods. I know people coins and other things are used. Would that be similar to what you're proposing as well?
No, this boulder dock would be just large rocks placed together.
And
forming a breakwater and forming a dock at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be wide, probably 50, 75 feet wide, where the hurricane seas hit it, would not move it. It would just break the sea and go right over it and come on toward the land.
Mm-hmm.
And it would also be a protection for things on the coastline as well, having that L-shaped dock out there.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to be the one when the creek dock was out of commission and we needed a ship to come in to bring cement to repair our dock. I was the one, Paul Scott from Scott Development will tell anyone that today. If it wasn't for Raymond's insistence, we wouldn't have got the ship to come into the dock. The ship brought concrete cement from Honduras to rebuild our creek dock. And when the ship by their friend, Captain Lawford Tatum, he was the pilot in bringing in the ship. He tried to come in the afternoon to the dock with the big roll-on, roll-off ship, but the wind was too strong. So he went to anchor at the western point of Cayman Brac. And I kept in contact with him. I was acting like the port pilot with communications, and Captain Lawford Tatum asked me, he said, Raymond, get the depth of water checked by the dock, and we checked it, and it was 12, 14, 16, 18 feet. He said, well, I can bring her in there. And then the ship made arrangements for the ship to come in there, and the ship came in to bring the cement, and then when they dropped the anchor in a white hole, somehow the anchor chain had damaged some rocky bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Divers from the David Tiara went out there and took photos of it, and in that scenario, they arrested and charged Scott Development for damage to marine life, for damaging the coral. And that case went on for about 2 or 3 years, and Scott Development had to pay a big sum for that total unnecessary thing. You know, it's a dock, and you know ships need to drop anchor at times, so that should never have taken place.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's behind the progress, stop the progress with Scott Development on making that dock the place that it needs to be today.
Right. Well, one
Facilitate.
One listener saying maybe government can enter into a private-public partnership with Scott's to make this dock. What's your view on that?
Yes, whatever can be done, it needs to be done, and let's get it done. Don't talk about it. Get it done so we don't have to be without our necessities. I mean, fruits and vegetables and all important things to keep us going.
Mm-hmm.
The shelves will be empty because, the barge can't come because it's bad weather.
Yeah. Well, it is, from all you shared, perhaps long overdue. Some would say, others say, well, at least timely. So we now have discussions as to what we're trying to achieve and why and how and when. So, any more you want to share with us, Mr. Raymond?
Yes, I could supervise and engineer that, and we could have a beautiful facility here to alleviate some of our problems, or many of our problems. Also, about the erosion of the coastline in Grand Cayman, that I see where the buildings, the footings is hollowed out and the concrete slabs is hollowed out. Same thing could take place there, but there's no way of getting any boulders down to the coastline and making a big boulder ramp out on the west side, turn it in front of the buildings and come back in. There's no way to get boulders there because the hotels have taken up all the space on the beach, and you can't come from the seaside with any barge or anything to bring boulders. So that's another thing. Once you got a wide boulder ramp out into the sea, into the sand, go out on one side, turn crosswind, come back in, then you encapsulate that area in front of the buildings with giant boulders placing them boulder to boulder. And then when the bad weather comes, there will be no more erosion in front of the buildings. But it would have to figure out how to get the boulders brought there, because you can't do it from on land. And the only other thing would be like a landing craft, take them from a barge, bring them off the coast and bring them over the reef and come in there and offload them, something like that. But boulders can be the solution to that same destruction that you all are having there in Grand Cayman.
Is other than the boulders, in your view, I mean, just your considered view, is there another solution that could be as good, if not better, for the Grand Cayman situation?
Yes, large concrete slabs. They are built in Mexico, I think, and in the Dominican Republic, breakwater slabs weighing 10, 15, 25, 40 tons and using very heavy machinery, cranes, etc., for lifting them in place, and you stack them together. And one on top of the other, like they would house spikes in where you sit one inside like a puzzle, and then pour concrete, and that would form another large breakwater or seawall. There are many ways that it can be improved and a solution can be done to it, but the restrictions of getting the objects like that out there.
At risk of maybe having people share, in ways that we don't want to necessarily encourage, let me ask you, again, in relation to the Grand Cayman situation with the beach, there are some who say the structures are there, whether the docks or the buildings being too close, that's the problem. I'm saying no, that's not a problem. Do you have an opinion as to what caused it? Is it, as people said, the dock, the walls, the seawall buildings that are too close? View.
I wasn't sure of how far the buildings were built from because I don't know much about Grand Cayman like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with the severe bad weather and the hurricanes passing and all the turbulences, yes, eating away the coastline, yes, carrying it out into the sound or inside the reef away from the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
So that's once you get bad weather, keep on coming in. It's just going to get worse until the foundations and buildings collapse. They're going to continue eating it out if you don't get something to stop it, because sand has no prevention with them heavy seas coming in from passing hurricanes and hurricanes.
Well, a few people as they are listening, are sharing. Perhaps this is the best one as I look at it quickly to relate to our listeners. It seems like something has to be done, and we've been ignoring it for too long. This one shares the this is a vitriol, but perhaps the rhetoric, the better word, has permeated the area so much that people are long listening to listen. So you offer up something to consider, Mr. Raymond. Thank you for that.
Yes, certainly. I want to see something done. My discussions was here today. See something done. Alleviating our disadvantages from getting our good to the island and waiting for Mother Nature guidance for making the sea rough and we can't get our goods.
Yes, sir.
We have to find some solution of getting our goods to the island. It's a seasonal thing. Every year we are deprived of our advantages of getting things to Cayman Brac. It's a serious problem. People just want to go along with it, and some people may not just care. Oh, the weather gets bad and we got to live up to it, but we need to find solutions to these things.
Right. But somebody says, Mr. Raymond should be the premier. So there you go.
Very good, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raymond. All right. Thanks very, very much for sharing with us.
Yes, thank you, and all the best to all our listeners.
And to you, sir. A wonderful weekend.
Yes, happy weekend. Okay, then.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let's take this call, and in the process, maybe Nobi can pull in a chair. Let's take the phone. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Yeah, hello? On the WhatsApp? Hi, how are you?
Is it the WhatsApp call? Or?
And you are on air, live, and we can hear you. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Good afternoon, Dwayne. It's me again.
That's okay. Thank
Listen,
you.
I have a joke. I'm going to turn like another person that likes to call. And I have a joke. I've never been able to understand why machines are often referred to as in a feminine fashion. So maybe Mr. Raymond can call back and explain that to me from a male's perspective, because I heard him say the cruise ship sister. So I'm like, okay, now's the chance to try to find out why machines have always been referred to as in a feminine way. But seriously, anything, I was just calling to chime in the conversation about cruise ships going to Cayman Brac. It's a really great idea, and I'm happy to hear that, because Cayman Brac has such uniqueness about that little island compared to Grand Cayman or other jurisdictions that cruise ships visit. And I think years ago they may have had a few going there off and on, and it's a good idea to have it resumed, because we want Cayman Brac to be able to be able to show what they also offer as part of the Cayman Islands, not just Grand Cayman, but the beautiful beaches, the bluff and the preservation of Cayman as we know Cayman is supposed to be, or the Cayman we've grown up and loved, that natural island flair and the old homes and stuff that we see are disappearing here in Grand Cayman. and the architecture and everything that is still so strong in Cayman Brac. So I am happy to hear that they have cruise ships going there again. It should be a few more. I think Mr. Raymond said about 5 within the next few months. So hopefully it'll pick up. But I just wanted to chime in with that because I think Cayman Brac is small, but it's a lovely place, and we need to share it more often.
Yeah, but this is it. And one of our listeners, in Nobi, for those who are listening and watching, he is assembled, man. He's ready to go. One of our listeners says, good afternoon. So one of the greatest resources is retired civil servants. Look at the experience. Is our government not utilizing our own consultants, So to your point, that resource there, we just respect and access, and perhaps not, be openly dismissive. So you're all right. Nobi?
Yeah. Wanted to actually it is the
you're still there, right, Mom?
Yes,
okay,
I'm
spot still there.
I didn't know you were on today. Hi.
No, I am not. I don't know.
This is a hologram.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to first say congratulations with present yourself in the political arena, and I really wish you all the best with with your endeavors. It's not an easy task for anybody to step forward, and I know that. So as you go through your challenges, I hope they all work out.
I'm finding out what you didn't know.
Okay. But I really did appreciate a lot of things that you forward. You do mention a lot of things that are valid. It's hung up, and if you do get it, the people, most people have, you'll be.
Thank you, and you're learning enough in that, and I think is too. So I just stay close to my roots if I'm successful. Thank you.
Okay.
This is where we all have to stop and reflect on a number of things. We beat up on politicians, and many times it's deserved and justified. But with respect, as voters, we have a responsibility. Not just want to be informed and involved and engaged, but we got to be ensured that we're present and actively seeking to assist.
Yeah.
And too many times we wait for an election.
Well, we beat up on our own people for presenting themselves in the capacity of what's presented to us as Caymanians with our constitution. So you have a constitutional right, then we should not be difficult. Now, if they've changed the criteria and put the criteria a different way, some people say this one's not capable, that capable. If it is that we can present ourselves, you should not be trying to make it difficult for people that are trying to have a voice. And that's what I've been doing here. We've had a voice, and the one stepping up for politics at this time, but it's just people have a voice, and we should listen. I think for too long, the only people that seems to have voices are people who are wealthy, or people who are in positions of power in Cayman,
right?
And therefore they voice either by electing candidates what they want.
But as part as you join in, I think the other people that have a voice when it comes to the political process is the incumbent. That person who's already in the seat has access already, because they not only own and control the table, but they're seated and decides who has addition.
Yeah.
And I think that is on us as people to appreciate that there are ways to get engaged, right? Without. Yes, Mom.
All right, and to Nobi's point, I am finding out, which I had expectations, and I've been severely warned. People that won't take, and Caymanians who may not know me, are not opting to take the chance to, or take the opportunity to find out about me or reach out and try to get to know me. But I realize those people may not have the courage to step out into this limelight, which basically exposes a lot about you and who you are and your life and everything. And what I have also discovered, is that as he said, our own people are the ones they want change. They want candidates to step out, and when we do so, then it's 6 of one and half dozen the other. Are now you're going to able to take the opportunity to get to know these candidates if you don't know them, reach out and try to get to know them. And I'm sorry I lost my train of thought there for a moment. What I also wanted to say is that I'm so sorry, Dwayne, I lost my train of thought.
You can regroup.
Well, basically what happened is I apologize for bringing it forward because it's probably right in the spur you were speaking about another topic, but I just wanted to say that because I know you're what you're looking forward to, and you always make good contributions.
Exactly. And if you need time to regroup, we got a break to take, but if you're back on track, you can stay on and we can share. All right?
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Not a problem. Well, after the break, did you ride the bicycle or you drove?
No, I drove.
You drove your truck or you bought it?
Boy, I borrowed somebody's.
So you can't lend it to me?
My truck just broke. Yeah.
You brought fish?
No, I didn't bring fish.
All right, let's find another guest. It's after the break.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Britke. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Vendors. Last call for vendors for Grand Cayman's biggest one-day family fun day. The 56th Annual Agriculture Show. Position your business and products in front of tens of thousands of people in one day at the Stacy Watler Agriculture Pavilion in Lower Valley. Ash Wednesday, March 5th. Contact Kelly Holding on 623-8822 to book your vendor stall today. The 56th Annual Agriculture Show. Ash Wednesday, March 5th.
Hi, I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm happy to announce the annual DG's 5K Challenge is fast approaching. Join us in Little Cayman on March 9th, Cayman Brac on March 16th, and Grand Cayman on March 30th for this exciting event. This year, we're proudly supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the One-to-One Foundation, organizations dedicated to making a positive difference in the lives of our next generation. For more info on how to register, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for listening and joining. And we want you, certainly invite, encourage, and hopefully we'll be able to inspire each one to share from his or her informed, considered perspective. Maybe you've, been willing to come share with us, but I'm mindful that too many people are reluctant. And the reticence isn't because of anything other than some sense of fear that they may have, self-imposed censorship at times, sometimes because they've been sanctioned from speaking out, from the employer, the co-worker, but also from those with whom they were trying to do something good to help. And what does it say? They end up getting kicked in the teeth. We need to stop tearing down each other. And I, for years, have talked about the need for unity. And when Mr. Hamid coming on, and he said we can have unity in our diversity, that's necessary. A Cayman that has almost every nationality represented in the country. You don't need to travel to take a vacation. You don't need to travel to meet somebody from a different place. I've consciously had that up, as you know, and you've invited me into your home. Thank you again, man. Boy, the last time I had a meal prepared like that was when my mom and my dad did it. You get it fresh from the sea. You climb the tree. I heard it yourself. Hucked the coconut, grated it. That's the kind of love that we have for each other.
Yeah.
But we no longer share with each other. We no longer consciously make the time because we feel we don't have the time, and we need to do that.
Yeah.
The Diwali celebration, as an example, one India, the different religions alone that are represented in the body, right, can come together and celebrate as a people with such love, such organization, such skill, and such a presentation that word they we like to use inclusive.
Yeah, man.
It's reminding, man.
In some of those places where wealth might not be great, division might not be that apparent. But where wealth is great, I find that division is apparent. And I think that's one of the things with Cayman. Wealth is great, so everybody is able to say, I got my house, I got my space, I don't need to worry about the next door person.
Yeah, George Collin talked about.
But that wasn't the way it was.
Yeah.
You
say we have bigger homes, bigger houses, but less home, right?
Yeah. So going back to what we always talk about, and why I normally come on here, is Eco Rise Cayman. When I'm able to take people through the district of East End. By the way, I must give a big shout out to Ilian Power, who came up and did my bike tour.
Amazing lady.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Trust me,
incredible, man.
I'm so impressed with her.
Yeah, amazing.
She did a great job. People think I paid her for that. I didn't pay her for that. She did this stuff.
She's honest to the core, man.
Honest to the core. Trust me.
Hope she doesn't mind us celebrating her, but that's what we could do.
Yes.
Right? And she's because of the stock that she has come from, the way she has represented publicly.
Exactly.
But who she is personally is one and the same.
Yeah. If people get to know her, you'll really,
She is incredible.
Yeah.
And that is what, on one hand, inspires and motivates me, but on the same inflames when people say such disparaging things about, others. And here is an example. I hope you don't mind me saying, as a young person, right?
Yep.
Who has such a wealth of knowledge, but character and integrity.
Very true, man.
Incredible lady, man. Her grandmother, I know everybody in the family will be proud about her grandmother, man. You know what I mean? We have a call.
Sorry.
That's cool?
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Dwayne, it's me again.
Okay.
You know what?
Yes.
The only thing better if you were sitting with us and you had chocolate to share.
Yes. I just wanted to say I had the opportunity to meet the young lady you're just referring to there, Miss Ileana, and I can tell you, I'm every time I see her in social media, I'm feeling prideful because she's come out of the stage of her pageantry, and she's continued to maintain presence online and locally and on the in the island, the community and
positive
stuff. And she's
influence.
always taken the opportunity to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it how the young people say it, big up Cayman
Yeah.
and expose,
Yeah.
and show her Caymanianism is what I'm going to say. So I just wanted to say that. She may not remember me, but anyway, I got it out there.
But let
What
me.
I was going to say.
Sorry,
Uh-huh.
I have to clarify because she clarified me on the tour. Her name is Ilian.
Yes, no,
Iliana.
I was gonna thank you, Nobi. Yeah. She is, but no, thank you for doing that. That's important.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. Yes.
Okay, you go.
But you are right. Otherwise, she is one who has championed from the heart, and you draw alongside her. You can see an honesty and integrity.
Yeah, and just natural too.
Yeah, it's from the heart.
Yes. Yeah. So what I lost my train of thought about a few minutes earlier was I was going to say, people have been asking me, what kind of promises are you going to make? What can you promise that you will get done and so forth and whatnot? And if you look in my brochure, I deliberately, intentionally have worded it to say I will do my best. I will try my best because I always remember growing up, we always heard in the old adage, a promise is a comfort to a fool. And I've never been a winner of a political seat, so I don't know what it would be like once I get in there. But I can honestly say publicly what I have learned over the years being in the legal field is that once you let people know you're going to try your best, and once you have an answer for them and give them the comfort of knowing you are trying to resolve issues, you're trying to make matters, improve matters and so forth. I don't know how many know I worked at the court's office. I worked at the immigration department for 4 years in the Cayman status and permanent resident section, almost 4 years. And I was at the judicial and the criminal registry for 4 years. And those were those are probably two very challenging positions of my entire life, especially at courts. But the mere fact that, especially in the criminal register, we had persons coming there who I know from growing up and so forth that were in binding situations where their freedom was at risk and so forth. And many times they would come to court, their charges aren't there and so forth and whatnot. And the very fact, some came very, very angry, because their charges weren't there, or they had to be in court and miss work and, things that weren't within the court system's control, but the blunt was put towards staff sometimes. And the fact is just saying to people, okay, I am going to try my best to get this done, try to get an answer for you, try to make sure I get this out, try to help solve the problem and so forth. And even in my other positions in the legal field and my advocating, once you let someone know, hey, I'm trying to get an answer, even as a paralegal, and clients come in and want answers about their case, and everyone wants to speak to the lawyer who's handling their case, and that's not always possible. But you say to a client, okay, if the lawyer doesn't call you back, I will call you back. I will try to get an answer for you. And once you pacify people with those kind of responses, they know you're trying your best to get some resolve for them, so they can have a peace of mind. And I have taken that with me through life, and especially I have that motto at the back of my head going into this political aspiration, that I know people want to hear that, and this may work against me, but I can only make promises to what's within my control, and that means with my children, because that's within my control. But getting into the field and going into politics and say, oh, I'm going to make a promise. And Dwayne, you may remember yesterday I made the analogy of a football game where a football game, there's one person scoring that, the more scores win the game. But at the same time, collectively, it takes all players on the team to set up the strategies in order for the goals to be scored, and that's where the winning comes. And that's how I look at politics. You know, so I just wanted that's my train of thought that I
thank you.
lost for a few minutes. I wanted to share.
Yeah,
Thanks.
That's good, man. I appreciate it, and you know, I got accused of making too many football strategies, so now I feel motivated to make more. But thank you, right? We'll talk to you when we talk to you. Okay. All right?
No one has still given me this answer of why machines are being referred to as female.
Nobody gonna
you guys with that.
Nobody can answer that for you.
I can't answer
Okay.
that.
Well, I'll listen.
All right.
Listen. Maybe Mr. Raymond may call back.
Yeah. But thank you
All
for
right.
that. All the best to you.
Talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. And as we continue, I'll just say this in a second as we got our break. Another of our mutual friends asked that same question, right? And I say, well, so I was only chuckling because it's a question that has been asked, you know. But the car and the boat as a she.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds so much better. That's how it is, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be the trivia question. Anybody can all answer that to us.
Yeah.
I'll buy them something from Sweet and Treat.
Just a little bit picking it back up on her.
We got a break though.
Oh, you got a break before?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that. You want to take us to the break and bring us back?
Oh, no, you take a
Yeah,
break.
all right.
I'm not that good at that yet.
You know what? I'm still here, so let me behave. We're going to pause and take that break. Phone lines are there. We're going to welcome you when we return. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments
February 22nd to the 28th
at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email Dr. Porter Cayman at gmail.com. That's drportercayman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
The Cayman Arts Festival is back this February, bringing 2 weeks of exceptional music and talent from both international stars and local artists. Thursday, February 6th, experience the groundbreaking African concert series called Exhilarated Brilliance by The Independent. This concert bridges Western classical and African traditional music. Saturday, February 8th, the world-renowned Sakoni Quartet takes the stage with over 2 decades of thrilling performances. Sunday, February 9th, don't miss the magical collaboration between the Cayman Youth Choir and acclaimed Broadway performers. It's an unforgettable fusion of local and international talent. And that's only week 1. The 2025 Cayman Arts Festival, celebrating music, creativity and connection. For tickets and more information, visit caymanartsfestival.com or call 922-5550.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And in the studio, Shane Obi Edwards and a phone call on the WhatsApp. Yeah. Let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
And a good afternoon to you. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm just calling to say that I think one of the reasons, at least I feel like one of the reasons for ships and, big buses, whatever, referred to as she's, because they carry, passengers or they carry stuff. It's probably why they're always referred to as she's.
That sounds like a, maybe. Never really thought about it until recent times when more people ask.
Yeah.
So that could be good.
That's my theory.
Well, that's a good theory.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to say that I'm not a person who normally calls the talk shows, but I listen very often. And I'll have to say that I agree with just about everything that Jan ever called in to say.
Okay.
And I'll make my story short by saying that I think the mess that this island is in at this particular point in time is all because of, I know that we elect the politicians, and yes, we have to give them some leverage of going in and doing what is best, making laws for what's best for the people of these islands. However, sometimes I feel that they never come back to the people to say, we're thinking of doing this or we're thinking of doing that. What are all your thoughts
Correct.
on whether this will work, for these islands or not, for the betterment of these islands?
You're right.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, all the things that are wrong in these beautiful islands that we call home now can all be fixed by the laws that are made in our legislative assemblies and work as we know it now. Something definitely has to be done about that, and of course they're part of government. But those two things, I would like to say that they can make the rules and regulations to fix the things that have gone wrong. I don't think it's too late for it to be done, but it has to be done now. And immigration is a very important factor in what a lot of what we have going wrong at this point in time.
How would we address the immigration issue from your perspective?
Well, there are some things that I think that they're doing now that weren't done in the past, as in, for instance, when people came here on a work permit, if they came to work for me and they decided, well, I no longer want to work for John Brown, I want to go to work for Jean. Well, when Jean put in that application for a work permit for that person, they had to leave the island and come back when that permit came through. Now we have people coming and they're just running from job to job as if they were a Caymanian.
And yet we don't see that as
And I mean, it seems like it's quite easy now for one person to transfer the permit to another without the people having to leave the island for it to be reprocessed.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think that this is they need to get back to the original law that they had in place, where you need to leave if you're gonna, go work for somebody else.
Well, let me just put another wrench into this. It's even worse when it refers to entities like the HSA, that you would actually you go and seek employment with them because they do not require a work permit.
So government entities in general?
Well, maybe so. I know HSA being one of them, right? So, at the end of the day, if they do not require work permit and you have a current work permit for somebody and they decide they're just going to leave and go to the other, to that company, there's no repercussions in between. You don't have to actually end up ending that work permit before you move on to the other entity. And then, just all the rollover and all those aspects needs to be consistent across the board. Why is it that government entities are somehow waived from that?
Well, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. And this is what I'm saying. Government in itself has created a lot of these problems. They're supposed to be making laws to do what is the best for the islands, but some of these things they have created themselves. So yes, it doesn't matter that people come here on a permit to work for government entities. The same should apply in those instances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, again, by you sharing that perspective, maybe other people will start to think and understand, really, really the cost and consequence of what is being shared. Anything else you want to? We're listening to you intently, so please don't feel rushed.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about what I had to say, in a nutshell.
Well, thank you for
And like I said, I feel that the rules and laws can be amended to solve many of these problems, because we definitely have too many people on this island that are just running around here. Some of them don't even have jobs, but they run around all over the place looking for who might give them a day's work. But I'd have to say too that I still feel, and I'm not going to go down the road like some people say that Caymanians are lazy, because we know that some of us are not. But I still feel that Caymanians need to start taking up the jobs that they're capable of doing. But for the most part, they don't want to go out and they don't want to do menial tasks. Hence the reason we're having to bring people from other places to help.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
I have yet to get a Caymanian to, and I have asked many to come and help me with chores in my yard.
Yeah.
So, so I'm saying that, and I don't pay them cheaply, but they still don't want to come and do it because they don't want to work outside in the heat.
Yeah.
So, in many of these instances, our own Caymanians are to be blamed if they don't want to get up and do the menial task.
Work a honest day's pay, right?
Companies, exactly, that companies and ordinary people who need help, have to hire people from outside of Cayman to get it done. So they better smarten up as far as I'm concerned, because it's not looking pretty here.
Well, we better, as you shared, smarten up and work together to make it better, right?
Yes, and that's another thing, because Caymanians do not like to stick together to see anything through.
Well,
And we need to do that too.
I pray that'll change. Maybe it'll change with, the right kind of leadership in the home, the politics, the church, the schools. Leadership by example that talks about unity and humility.
That's right.
Yeah. Thanks so much, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great weekend.
So the lady is so correct, right? Just going back to the laws and stuff, put laws in place. Some of the laws aren't adequately enforced, and I think in a lot of cases we're working in contravention to laws. For example, right, I speak about this all the time, which is kind of like surprising to me, that this law, being that tourism is a pillar of our economy. And I mean, the tourism law states in there that there should be an advisory council. The last time that I checked, although it might have changed now, I don't know, because I've never heard of no appointment, there's no advisory council. So who's advising the government when it comes to tourism?
Yeah.
Of course, we all know it's the wealthy people who are in tourism. But this is why I want to say to the average person that's in the tourism product, do you feel that you're represented? You know? Or do they call you in and give you a little favor within those departments and you feel okay?
Right.
I believe that that's the reason for the advisory council, that it would be a broad spectrum across the tourism product. And all of the inputs of even the small business people, like myself, like others, will have an input.
Yeah.
So
let's take our calls after the news break, right? Two quick things as we go in. Someone talks about, the she in relation to why, boats and the like. Say she delivers and it stems from arbitral law, so, the maritime legislation. And then we have a gentleman who say he would be willing to assist that lady with help, so I can pass along the number. So if you're still listening, man, we have someone who is willing to help you out. We can get the number to you if you let us do that. All right, we're going to pause, take a news break, come back, continue your conversations if you take your calls.
Covering Little K-Man, Kim and Brad.
Cover me. Radio K-Man in the Cayman Islands. From Radio K-Man's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. Courtney Butch Miles Jr., Chanel Cranston, and Eddie Ebanks are set to appear in Grand Court for firearm charges. Mr. Miles Jr. and Miss Cranston remain on bail while Mr. Ebanks is remanded at HMP Northward. No pleas have yet been entered in the matter, and they're set for an 11:30 mention before Justice Cheryl Richards, KC. In regional news, Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness urges global bodies to unite against gangs, likening the threat to global terrorism. Speaking at the National Security Council seminar, he emphasized the need for transnational coordination and reciprocity to combat gangs effectively. Holness highlighted the importance of global cooperation to address the influx of guns into Jamaica and the fear tactics employed by gangs to control citizens. Voters in Turks and Caicos are casting ballots to elect a new government, with both the ruling Progressive National Party and the opposition's People's Democratic Movement confident of victory. The election sees an increase in the National Assembly seats from 15 to 20, with the introduction of the DS200 electronic voting machine, streamlining the process. Premier Washington Misick and opposition leader Edwin Astwood are vying for the new seats, while voters can elect 9 at-large legislators for the first time. Nearly 10,000 voters are eligible, with government offices and schools closed for the day. That's your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thanks to Nobi for keeping us company, man, on a Friday afternoon. Some calls. Where are we going first, sir? Left, right? All right, not the government boots, but we're going to the right. On the regular line, welcome, thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thanks, and you?
I am amazingly awesome, fantastically thankful, awesome.
I said, good afternoon. Is that Nobi?
That's Nobi? Yeah, that's Nobi.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry.
Trying to get a little bit of the noise in the background, sorry.
Yeah, that happens.
Regarding the immigration decisions that they're making and stuff, we do need a lot of cleanup and everything. There's, like the lady said, there's too many people here. But one thing that gets to me is to hear people say the Caymanians are lazy. And we're not saying we got lazy ones just like everybody else. But a lot of it, the salaries that they're paying, the foreigners that are coming here and working, and they're covering up, and it's a lot of corruption going on because they're coming here working for less than what the minimum wage is. And as we know, the cost of living in Cayman is very high, and they're coming here getting the opportunity to work for less than the minimum wage, but they're signing more than one document that to meet up. So what government needs to do, the department needs to start investigating all these people that are coming, because they're coming here, they're working 17 and 18 hours a day for the same wage. And Caymanians cannot afford that, because as I said, when we make one Cayman dollar, it's one Cayman dollar. When they make one Cayman dollar, depending on where they come from, it can be valuable in their country. And their money doesn't stay here very much. Majority of their money leaves this island. So at the end of the day, it's Caymanians that are stuck with nothing. So that's what the immigration needs to look into, or the departments where it falls under needs to start looking into those companies. And there are some of the companies with the white collars, the securities and the higher ones that are hiring these people for cheap labor. That's what we need to look into. We need to clean up, and we need to start somewhere, and that's a good place for them to start. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And go to the WhatsApp. Take the next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Good afternoon, my man, Nobi.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Welcome, man. Welcome.
I'm good, thank you. Every time Mr. Nobi is on, I think he's got this gravitas, makes me want to call. I don't know why.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's very, very, I won't say interesting. I think it's frustrating and very dismaying to hear some of the callers from the perspective that what they're saying is really, these are matters of concern, but nobody has ever really addressed them. A couple of days ago, I engaged you, Dwayne, regarding the matter about immigration and so on. And this is more like a continuation of that. Look at what has happened since then. I believe yesterday the white paper which they published, they say that it has now been withdrawn. Okay, and then there was a motion brought by a member, appropriately seconded, saying that they should limit grants of people who are not Caymanian by descent or by marriage, that those should be limited to 30. Now, you see, the problem with that is, again, why is this coming now? They practically don't have enough time to consider these issues and have them fleshed out properly. I can tell you that, having dealt with legislation, and it is common sense anyway, if they passed that resolution yesterday to say those, people who don't fall within those two categories should be limited per year to 30. But how are they going to determine how to arrive at 30? Because at the moment they are giving about 30 per week, from what I understand. Okay, so how are they going to do that? Are they going to say from now on you need 1,000 points? Are they going to say from now on you need just to get PR you need 12 or 15 years, and then you need 25 years to get PR? I mean, these are details which I do not think can be worked out between now and the election. Why is this coming now? Okay, and then for something that has been an issue really in Cayman since the inception of Cayman, but in my view, much more strongly since the mass grants of 2003, 2004. How can government bring a paper today, 20 years later, and put it in Parliament, and then withdraw it because it hasn't been sufficiently thought about? There is a problem. And the problem, I think, the last two callers have touched on it. The problem really in Cayman, to be frank with you, is corruption. A lot of the people today who are talking about, well, let us introduce much more stringent immigration, they were part of the mass grants of 20 years ago. And now they are coming and saying, well, they want to effect some changes here and there. First of all, they can't be trusted. They cannot be trusted. I want to see, okay, these guys, I think today they are having, I was listening to the speaker was saying, okay, we'll come back this afternoon for our swan song and so forth. In other words, they are not sitting again in Parliament. So when are they going to effect this resolution they've passed now? Before the election, they've got no opportunity to be able to do that now. When the new government comes in, there will be some new factors, and I don't believe that anything is going to happen. And you see, the other thing that makes it very interesting is that this same Parliament, right? This same Parliament considered a motion from Kenneth Bryan when he was a backbencher. They considered it. He had said, well, let's have at least. Like in 5 years' time, the heads of department and the deputy heads of department, they should be Caymanian within 5 years. And that was not even, to me, I don't think he even asked for enough. And yet, you know what happened? This same Parliament said, no, we can't have that. Okay, we can't have that. Even the opposition, the government and the opposition were not able to support him. What is that telling you? The politicians are not interested in this. There are some things they are getting privately from people in the private sector, which are making them sell out people in government. So at the end of the day, what people in Cayman have to deal with is the corruption. There are there's a gravitational pool of people in the private sector who are saying, don't do this and don't do this and don't do this, while the people are saying, let's do it and let's do it. And the problem is that the people do not have a means to enforce that. The only reason they are doing it now is because the election has come. They want to see if they can get some votes from it. Mm-hmm. But after they get the votes from it, they don't have enough time between now and the election for them to be able to do it. So at the end of the day, the problem is not that what they don't know what to do, it's because they don't want to know what to do. There is a need to amend the constitution, make them more accountable. There is need for people action. There is a lot of things that need to be done outside of the normal political process to get these people to do that which they do not want to do, because they have sold out. They have sold out the whole government. Let me stop on this. Another lady who called again is talking about job preferences, about our children are coming back and they can't get jobs. That is not a new problem. That is not a new problem. In the way they do it in other countries, they say, well, look, if you go on, and in Cayman, I believe it used to be like that. Mm-hmm. If you go on a scholarship, you are guaranteed a job when you come back. You can't send somebody out to study, and then when they come back, and then you say, well, you have to compete for a job. Okay, and then when they compete for a job, there are no entry-level positions. Then you say, no, but we have to employ somebody from the UK or from the US, from Jamaica, because they have more experience than you. That is nonsense. Look at the law school.
You hit
32 years. Yes. So 32 years, 35 years, I think, since the establishment of Truman Bodin Law School. Is there an indigenous judge in Cayman? Not one. Are there people in the portfolio of legal affairs, indigenous people who are working there? No, hardly any. Maybe 1 or 2 out of about 40 or something like that. And it appears there is no vision on the part of anybody. In Canada here, for example, I can tell you, you can never write legislation for the government of Canada unless you are a Canadian citizen. Why? Because they know that, you see, loyalty is very important when you are writing legislation. But in Cayman, there's never even been an attempt to say, let us create a target to ensure that our local people are in these key positions. They are always being told this nonsense that, well, these are professional jobs, you see. forget about that. It doesn't matter whether it's a professional job. If you are a judge, you have a certain orientation and certain things which drive you. If you are a local person, there are certain things which will drive you to be loyal to your country. If you are a Jamaican or a British person, you will never have the passion that a local person has. And to me, the leadership, both at the level of the deputy governor, the premiers, all that lot have failed you people in the Cayman Islands. If they hadn't failed you, I would have been in Cayman today. But the problem is I was too stupid to sort of throw in my lot with the Caymanians to try and help them, and thinking that they would help me too so that we can work together. It turned out that the Caymanians are not in charge. The Jamaicans and the British people who are in charge. Until that changes, you will continue being a minority in your own country until you reach 4 or 5%. And at that point, it is probably too late. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I hope I haven't put too much a damp on things, but this is a challenge for people to actually be able to realize how serious problems are and deal with them. I thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Well, I think it's a little echo.
Yeah.
He's on. I thank him, Sam, for making that contribution, because I actually have spoken and told people the same thing. Me, yourself, many other good people, like the previous several years ago, financial minister, his name was Marco Archer. All those people done pretty well, in my opinion, because they came back and they had a scholarship. They came back and they worked within the system of government, and they understand the system of government. Many years of being involved in it, and that's what I believe made them effective in how they were able to serve the country. So when we start changing this stuff, it probably just changed. They changed the whole process of getting a scholarship, and when you come back to Cayman, bounded by that scholarship. What you technically did is actually take the investment, earn money, and invested it so that someone else, private companies, could benefit. And in a lot of cases, we see they don't even benefit because at the end of the day, we have nowhere to, they can't get a job out there.
Yeah.
Now, he's saying it correct. The civil service should be investing in people to come back to work within the civil service, right? At least for a period of time, and to develop it, build it. That's what I thought the civil service all my life, of working with the civil service and seeing other people work with the civil service. They were given scholarship to go away, to come back to make contributions to the civil service, right? And it's very sad that it's come down this way, but he just touched on a very, very important thing. I understand you want to give a lot of people scholarships, and you want them to come back and be able to seek jobs outside, because people like me and you were bonded, right? But we still have to get a percentage of those people working within the government.
Maintain that.
Can't just release it and have the issue we're having now with people not having jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's quickly take the final break and invite any other callers or comments as we return. Stay tuned.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The Cayman Islands Fire Service will be commencing comprehensive fire safety inspections across all public occupancy buildings. These inspections are in accordance with the Fire Safety Code and are critical in maintaining a safe environment. We appreciate the cooperation of all business owners, property managers, and the general public in this important initiative. Together, we can prevent fire-related incidents and enhance the overall safety of our community. For more information on the Fire Safety Code and what to expect during the inspections, please contact the Cayman Islands Fire Service Fire Prevention Unit at 949-2499 or email us at firesafetyinspections@gov.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks to Nobi for making some time and sharing with us, to the last caller and the callers prior for doing likewise. Before we take the next call, Nobi?
Yeah. So one of the things that was really good for what he just made, the previous caller just brought forward, was that now they're making all of these things, bringing them forward in the LA, and is making people believe that they're going to be doing something when they know nothing can be done before election. So it's important that people don't be, what do you say, softened up,
duped, hoodwinked
by all of this that's happening. No, here's what I expect, what I expect from a candidate in my area, and what I think people should be considering. I'm not saying you have to expect it, and that is, there should be issues, there should be laws that you're going to attack when you get elected. And therefore, you should be going through that process now, knowing what it is that you're going to be presenting, knowing the issues, the challenges that people have, and how we're going to combat it, how we're going to make these presentations, whether it's going to be a private member motion, what it's going to be. And therefore, when you get in there, it isn't this hanky-panky flying all over the world, especially in your first get, because there's going to be a lot of first time, maybe this time, I don't know. You know, hanky-panky flying around the world when we got our issues right here, right? We should be getting on the ground, those representatives should be getting on the ground and tackling those different issues that they have with laws or with whatever processes that need to be done from the get-go, not at the end, from the get-go.
Right.
And I know it's difficult, but we can't wait any longer. We can't be waiting for another 4 years again to say, oh, this one didn't work out. Now we're going to get back at track and try to elect someone else. You need to get at it now, because every year that we wait, something new is coming in place. The boards are introducing something different. The laws are being twisted everywhere, and nothing is being done in the best interest of the Caymanian people.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that when people, they go with manifestos, but I'm hoping that in their manifesto they start to talk about the laws and the laws that needs to be changed to benefit Caymanians. Now that's my view. I hope people resonate with people out there.
Right.
You know.
This will be the final call, I'm told. Let's
Okay.
take this call here. Welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, afternoon, Sterling.
Afternoon. How are you?
Afternoon.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Afternoon to your guests too.
Afternoon.
I don't know if you guys on a specific topic. I hear about law.
You talk, we'll listen, we'll contribute, we'll try to learn. Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, if there's anything that I think needs to be changed, right? We have a lot of foreigners on this island that claim they follow the law. They go by law, right? With no remorse whatsoever, right? Towards Caymanian people. And I want to read something personal, but to me, I feel like it needs to be shared because I don't think that a lot of resignation letter or anything like that, termination letters or anything been read out in public too often. But I got a termination letter that was given to me 1 month after certain incidents occurred, and it says this: as per our decision, I know that you have been coming late every day since the beginning of February. I got my resignation letter, my termination letter on March. And then while we appreciate that you have to care for your daughter, that seems to be incompatible with you coming to work on time. The time that they're talking about sometimes is like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and it's not even that too enough. But sometimes I get on time, but I don't clock in because I get sidetracked by someone that needs help. Anyways, but it says you indicated that you were not able or willing to make any changes in order to get to work on time, because I don't feel like I've been coming to work too late too often. This is just 1 month, So I also raised concerns that you may be coming to work under the influence of drugs, and you have refused to take a drug test. I don't do drugs. For both of these reasons, I am terminating your employment. This is a line of our policies, the terms of your employment contract and labor law. So it's not giving people warnings and immediately terminating them because of refusing of a drug test. And you have foreigners that's working in the establishment that do take drug tests and might come out positive. What rights do they have against that? They should be assuming that I look height. And don't come to me personally, but come a few weeks later. I don't know if it made any sense, but I come in off of based what I'm reading.
Yeah.
And I wasn't satisfied with the way how a foreigner talks to a Caymanian. I'm Caymanian, but this is a foreigner that is employing me, the operation manager.
Without attempting to, give you legal advice nor trying to pacify you by any means, right? I would share, perhaps speak to, if you feel aggrieved and unfairly dismissed, right? Speak to the labor board.
I done went there, and a woman that said that she's a police officer before said that they did everything legally.
Right.
Because they do it in their job too, where she worked as a police. I wasn't no police officer, sir.
Yeah, and I'm glad you made that step. I was also going to share that in addition to whatever you get there, it may unfortunately incur some level of expenditure on your part, and sometimes that's something that we don't feel we can afford. But maybe there's a good Samaritan attorney out there who could guide you. It may be that some things are done legally but not necessarily morally or ethically. I'm not suggesting that in this instance, but maybe speak to and try to obtain some legal counsel just to see.
First off, Vern, I really don't want to comment on your letter that you got. Thank you for sharing it with us, and it seems very, very harsh, but I want to comment and say to you, take my hat off to you as a young Caymanian, father, and I feel the same. I can feel your pain because I now have a son, and it sometimes it does become difficult. But at the end of the day, a job is very important to everyone, and and I could only imagine in your position with a young child. So only thing I can say to you is the same as Sterling would say. Probably try to seek some legal advice on that, and take it that route. I'm not sure that this is the best platform for that to help you, in my opinion.
Yeah. No. Well, I just was thinking of that because speaking on the foreigners, the people that are on this island that might have gotten Cayman residents saying thing. I say we got too much buddies on this island, too much buddies, and they don't have any interest in Cayman. Some of them, I'm not gonna say all of them. We have some good foreigners on this island. We have some good people that I feel like they're my family, right? I appreciate them and I tell them that all the time too. They would know them. I don't have to call out no names or anybody. But it's sad to me to see that they would take their entitlement to disrespect us. And then the worst part, especially in the form of legal forms, in legal way. And it is incredible to see them that way how they bite us in our hands. And they don't even care as long as they get what they want.
Well,
they make their investments here in this island, not us, not in us.
Well, listen, I mean, you know, have shared, and I join you being saying to you the same. Commend you for always being a stalwart father. So there might be someone there who can assist you. Now that you put it there, see what we can do to help. It may be anything was done legally, as you said, you made the first step, speaking to the requisite government entity.
Yeah.
But maybe not, right? So check it out, see what you find out. All right.
Yes, sir.
Don't lose hope, man. Cool.
You have a good day. Okay.
And this is where I commend, as you shared, the caller found the courage to share, not in any way other than what he relayed, factual account of what he read. But that speaks to a bigger issue, and is it that there's a growing divide. I'm glad to hear increasingly much of the political either incumbents or aspirants speak to things that you and I have been talking about. Unity. Finding a way to show that a gap of love. Find a way to come together. But it can't be, as Mr. Samama shared earlier, lip service. We can't be doing it now because, we are at this 11th hour. But the voters have to also be and look at it and say, I like or I don't like, but go beyond the personality. Look at the principles and the policies. And the peculiarities of the Cayman political landscape is such that on election day, the election can be won or lost. Respecting your employer, whether you're in the public sector or private, whether you are self-employed or retired, is absolutely essential to maintaining civility and healthy democracy, but it also necessitates your ability to participate, and doing that in a way that engenders cohesion, collaboration, a sense of cooperation when it comes to whatever comments we're going to share publicly. But it doesn't mean that you have to acquiesce, right? Agree reluctantly. To acquiesce is something, but it doesn't mean that you must be relegated to the margins and not speak and remain silent, because silence is not necessarily golden or consent. So where is the happy median when people, irrespective of who they are, whether they're employed, are unwilling, sometimes unable to speak publicly when they wish to talk about something, from an economic policy to an environmental factor to whatever, right? This is where I value the talk shows and hopefully being able to facilitate and encourage and sometimes carefully navigate between a public expression of opinion and a privately held conviction. So Nobi, you've helped us to, as others, to do so. Listen, it's a Friday, man. I know you got to get back to where you're going.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you're not riding a bicycle. OC would be happy if you did.
Yeah. Well, his birthday is coming up, so it should be a ride.
It'll be a public celebration. As you share your final thoughts, right? What someone writes, would your guest consider running for elections? He has such good ideas. I didn't write that. I tried to read it as best as I said.
I appreciate them making that contribution.
All right.
Everything has its time.
Well, honest Julie Gallo, we make no wine before it's time.
Yeah. And here's what my contribution for today. I always like motivational things from the get-go. And here's a quote from Henry David Thoreau.
Thoreau? Okay.
And it says, the price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it.
Yeah.
Yep. So I hope somebody can
famous economic
understand that.
Yeah. Opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Is what it's talking about. Well, you give up to get something.
Yeah.
Right? And what you meditate on, what you focused on.
Yeah.
It becomes sometimes your passion and becomes what you pursue.
Yeah.
So if you're negative, that might be all you see. You can be real, but still be positive.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Bro, the reality of this is that I love my country. I love who I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to be anyone else.
Yeah, but that's just taking
right?
right?
I love East End. That's my community.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to make it a better place, that's what I'm set out to do. It has never been a struggle for me about financial. Meaning, when I say that I'm trying to make that much money, but the reality is I'm not rich. I'm not one of those guys. But you know, for me, making a contribution is what's important. Whether it's it can be the most subtle things in my view. And I encourage our people to keep making contributions. Keep making contributions. Keep thinking about Cayman first. Keep thinking about your people. No, it doesn't end with you and your family. Everybody around you should be affected in a positive way.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks very much. And I think we should be inspired as we aspire to inspire. It's important, as you shared, that we stop measuring who we are by what we have. The material wealth does not define, dictate us, but oftentimes we allow it to determine our destiny. What is important is who we are, our character, integrity, the humility that we have. It isn't something that, it's what hubris is, it isn't something that we acquire because we went into the supermarket and found it on special. It's what is inculcated in us. It may be ingrained because of example. Some may say it's inherent. But I believe we all needed to ascribe to humility, to integrity, to having an ethical ethos that defines our very being. As you shared, like you, few of us pursue the money, but we understand the importance of having the ability to sponsor a student in something, to be able to afford to pay the bills, to be able to afford to live, right, and enjoy life. But I want that for all of us. It is becoming increasingly difficult on a personal level to continue to sit idle by and watch some of the foolishness that transpire and expect in one breath to talk about unity and in the same tear it down. That has to stop, my friend.
Yeah.
So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
See what tomorrow brings, man.
And
thank you for allowing me to come on.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have got here earlier.
You were here when you were supposed to be. You got here safely, and that was important.
Yeah.
Safe drive back, a safe weekend to you to all.
And you too.
Can I do what I believe Mr. OC does every time he's here? Make a special personal appeal to be a little bit more cautious and conscious on the roads.
Yeah.
More considerate.
Yeah.
Right. Drive, please, safely.
Yeah. So the last bit that I want to say is that I cycle a lot, and I'm very pleased that I have the opportunity to ride with Mr. OC and many others.
Yeah.
And this weekend we'll probably be doing his, happy birthday to him. He'll be doing his bike ride, and we might be doing like 74 miles, something like that.
Year, right?
Right, yeah. And they normally used to double that up. So
I know.
And that's the same thing. To be honest, like just be careful. Look out for the cyclists. I know some people think we're annoying or what, but they do tech time Tuesdays. Right down here, we come down to it. Big up to Wayne and Edward and the whole group. Great organized ride. We just need people to really have a lookout for cyclists, because we really exercising and doing this stuff is not easy.
Yeah,
and but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for reminding that. And if some of us would quickly cast our minds back, we would remember when we rode. We remember our parents, grandparents. That was a primary mode of transport. My mom would tell us about, riding what was a bog and sand road, right? To go back sand and gravel to cut touch and like in the tops to come back. Slapping that stuff over her bicycle handlebar. Bicycles moved us around our districts. Bicycles provide a great means, an environmentally conscious, personally healthy but yet cyclists of all sorts are being sometimes,
it's a very good means of transportation. We got a lot of people that ride to work and do all that, which is absolutely great. But if you were to see what cycling is becoming to right now, it's amazing. I'm telling you.
The last time I did that with my son, I thought, what was I thinking? we came out, we rode along South Sun Road. I came out by Smith's Market there, made a left, went up to South Sun Road, made a left, went to Walker's Road, made a left, rode down, made a left. Very short distance. At a time of day that I thought traffic would have been pretty decent. It wasn't just how the shoulder of the road meets the embankment, that significant drop off at the time. It was the way people drove to force you off the road. If a driver seeing two people riding a bicycle trying to be a little bit more considerate, they would get almost pushed off the road. As a driver in a vehicle, trying to make sure that this young fella with his younger son, I've been a young fella, wasn't mowed down. Ada, to this day, apologize to my son. We will never do that again. We have never done that again.
So when you go with these groups of people like the Tech Time Tuesdays and they have Thunder Thursdays and stuff, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
They go early in the morning, but when there's a lot of people, and they do a good job of trying to control the traffic and stuff. So it is a controlled thing. But I understand your point. You want to be able to cycle just regular.
It's fun.
But
So from between the dogs off the leash chasing you down to the motorists trying to mow you down, we need to change that so that we can get around a lot better. But thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, though, and allowed me to speak.
Yeah, man, no, man, always. Listen, have a great weekend. Share your comments responsibly and respectfully. Be willing to have the courage to do so. I love this place. There's no question about that. I know some love it just as much and more so. So together, we can share the love, be the love, and at the end of the day, we can allow others to feel the love.
Yeah.
Not true? With that, I mightn't get the dark nectar and chocolate as I desire, but that's on me. Let me see if I can make apology. As some have shared, people come into your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime. I hope that it was for the latter. I'll say that later, but we'll see where it gets us. Right, brother?
Okay.
All right, join our corner, Mr. OC, for the record. Come Monday morning. Because we'll then talk today right after that. So have a wonderful, safe weekend.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.